Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Mattshotcha. I am your lead community developer here at Gun Media, and this is our show called Beyond. For those of you who maybe haven't watched our live streams before, on Tuesdays we run a show called Beyond, this show, which is all about the news coming out of Gun Media. On Thursdays at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have a show called Tales from the Stream, where we hang out and we play some horror video games and talk to our friends around the world of horror gaming, our friends being you, the community. But today, we're covering news. This, as you may know from the stream title, is a community check-in episode, which basically means this is where we sit down, we take questions from the community, we let you guys know what we're working on, where we're at, and try to make sure that, we provide you guys an outlet to ask the things that you want to know and so on and so forth. So that's what we're here for. But before we do all that, I just shook up. Got some bubbles going in there. Before we do all that, I want to get my shout outs out of the way. We got Rusty Machete, Seraph, Bad Girl, JJC, someone 81 Crazy, Sargon Albazi, Haroon Mahmood, Sangra Vampira, we got Mubot, we got OB4477, and looks like we've also got a Mad Moxie. Hey, Peanut. And over on Mixer, we've got JJC. Mel Zombie is in there. Hey, Mel Zombie, how's it going? We've also got, looks like a Reanimate Her. And yeah, also guys, Digital Jedi, how's it going? What's up, man? All for Awesome, how's it going? All for Awesome-o, how's it going, bud? Yeah, basically, we've got Gun Media support and Gun Media help on Twitch and Mixer. That will be my friend, my dear, dear friend, the one and only Raj Mahal. And now you might be wondering what happened to Mighty Mel. Where's Mighty Mel? I could tell you. Mighty Mel is on the other side of that wall handling our production duties today. So big shout out to Mighty Mel and to Raj Mahal. And also, I just want to say real quick, our buddy Rob, the producer, he's out right now. He had a little family thing, and I just wanted to say that we're all thinking of you and yours, Rob. So you're missed, and we'll see you next time. Hope to see you again soon. Galaxy Graves, how's it going? Yes, welcome back. Thank you very much. I am back from a vacation. Justin, thanks for the warm welcome. We were out last week, so we didn't do any Beyond streams. We didn't do any Tales from the Stream streams. This week, we're doing both, but there's a caveat there. I want to make sure I mention to you guys that today's community check-in is going to be a pretty quick one. We're just going to handle some of, here's where we're at, here's the catching up. I want to make sure that we take your questions because those are obviously very important to us, and we want to know what you guys, we want to give you guys an opportunity to outlet and interface directly with us. So we're going to take your questions because those are super important to us, but it's going to be a pretty quick one. I'm still in the process of catching up, having just got back into the office. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. It's going. The hawk is green again. It is. It's back. The green is back. Yeah, so Friday the 13th, the game. First, we've got Switch. As you guys may or may not have heard, Friday the 13th, the game's coming out on Switch. That'll be out August 13th. See how we did that? August 13th of this summer. The team is working to wrap things up and get it going. That's going to be a physical edition and digital edition. So if you want to head out and pick it up in stores, or if you want to just get it digitally, if you've got the SD card room and all that, that'll be out August 13th. You'll be able to slay with your friends on the go, which I think is pretty dope. Aside from that, we've got Friday the 13th on the Steam Summer Sale that just ended. So we've got a whole mess of new players. We're going to talk about those new players in just a minute. But Friday the 13th Steam Summer Sale just ended. The title is back to its $19.99 price point, which is still actually a price cut. Happened, not too long ago, a couple months ago, that we cut the price down to $20. So yes, Steam Summer Sale is over, but it's still a pretty great price for what it is. So yeah. Now, aside from that, we've got the topic everybody's going to want to know about, and that's the roof glitch. That's currently, and I know this is going to rub some of you the wrong way, but there's going to be times where we sit down and have one of these check-ins where don't have huge super news for you guys. The process of fixing the Packanack roof glitch, which we've been calling it as a misnomer, really. It's become the nickname of said bug. Really, for those of you who maybe haven't caught a Beyond episode in a while, through the process of fixing the slingshot method, using bear traps and things like that to slingshot the players up onto the roof, we uncovered some underlying things in the code that we needed to take care of in order to make sure that we 100% took care of this. It wasn't as simple as one method. We actually uncovered some things that we buttoned up and took care of. Right now, it's just in the process. The simple part of it is teams working to get things finalized and make sure we do our due diligence and our redundancy checks and make sure that everything's where it needs to be. If we run into another hiccup, we should have another update on that and the status of this update on our next episode of Beyond. So that's 1 week from today. In the meantime, know that the team is getting close. We're getting very, very, very close. And we're just basically hammering on those last few things, making sure nothing, we don't shake anything loose or break anything else, and trying to make sure that we're, as 100% ready to go before we put this thing out. We've had an issue here or there with getting this type of a bug that has all that underlying, code below the surface that's participating in it. We've had issues before with making sure that we're 100%. And so for us, we want to make sure we are as close to 100% as possible before we release this thing into the wild. We don't want it to be an hour and then have you guys go, hey, there's people on the roof again. So I see, hey, is Friday the 13th going to make a comeback? I wish. You wish Friday the 13th would make a comeback? We're actually doing great considering the Steam sale. The Steam sale definitely helped out on PC a bit. And that's a great segue into another thing I wanted to talk about. We got a lot of new players. And for the new players, we have some things we want to cover. I'm hoping that we've got, hey, how's it going, Resolute Blood? I'm hoping that we've got some of those very new players here in this chat because we've got some cool links we want to share with you. First off, you guys got to know that exclamation, hey, look at that, Discord, Gun Media Help, you're on the ball. We've got a Discord server for all of Gun Media. We have dedicated channels for Friday the 13th. We have dedicated channels for Layers of Fear 2. And then we have a gun dedicated section, which is a little more general. You can hang out in there. You can chat with your friends from around the community. You can make some new friends around the community and chat about all things horror or Layers of Fear and Friday the 13th, the game. Follow that Discord link. Join up the team, myself included, Mel, Raj. We all hang out in there. There's a really great section with our tags in there. You'll know us by the gold. And yeah, basically, it's a good opportunity to hang out with us and talk directly. You can get your questions answered, or you can just make some friends around the world of, all of us horror nerds. So it's a pretty great place. And it's also a great place to stay in touch on issues. You can ask questions that maybe you didn't get a chance to ask here in the chat. You can ask there, and hopefully we can get them addressed for you right away. So that's the first thing. Gun Media Discord, very important. We all hang out there. It's a great place to be. We've also got a forum. Now, our forum is full of lifelong, I say lifelong, it's 2 years, but we're talking about the diehards, right? We're talking about the people who have played since launch, who know the ins and outs of this game, the history of this game, everything about this game. And they're a really great group of people. There's a ton of people in that Discord that are really super helpful. They know so much about this game. They can help you with strategies. They can help you find groups. So if at all you're new to this game, whether it's through PC sales, the price chop in general, or the upcoming Switch launch, our forums are a great place to hang out. And it looks like, boom, Gun Media Support has our F13 game forums in chat. Please, by all means, come hang out. Make sure you read those forum rules before you start posting away, and then join our community there. We've also got Twitter. Now, Twitter for Friday the 13th is our main platform as far as social media platforms are concerned. We have other areas like our forum where you can have a long form discussion, but we also like to utilize Twitter to get news out quick in bite-sized segments for you guys. We also interact with the community there pretty frequently. Our Twitter account is a good place to hang out and follow us if you want to keep an eye out for news, especially special events and things like that. They always get shared there. And I think Gun Media Support has some links for the chat for that one as well. Treks in Disguise says, Matt, more HP, please. For the mask, it's something we're looking at. How's it going, Paul Smash? I love you too, buddy. Stream over? No way. Matt, more HP, please stream over. No way, stream's not over. So, yes, we've got a Twitter account. Our Twitter account is a good place to hang out and, like I said, get news about upcoming events and things. And we've also got a Facebook page. Those links will make their way into chat, I'm sure, soon enough. But we've got a Facebook page. And, if Facebook's a little more your speed, you can hang out there, drop a like, and keep up on things. Oh, Resolute Blood's heading out. Hey, Resolute Blood, have a good rest of your workday. So, yeah, basically, that's all of our information. If you're new to the game, through, like I said, through the summer sale, through, the price chop, or through the upcoming Switch launch, please, wow. You underestimate how hard it is to say Switch launch really quick 1,000,000 times. I tell you what, say it 10 times fast in your living room and tell me that that's not difficult. Switch launch, Switch launch, Switch. It turns into swish, 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 and I sound drunk. The Switch launch, so if you're new to the community through the summer sale, the price drop, or the Switch launch, please join our community on those platforms, wherever you choose to go and hang out. Now, hey, there you go. Now those links are making their way in. I've already messed up. See, I told you. I hope they fix her pants. Victoria's pants. That's something that the team's working on, definitely. But again, this roof thing has been a big one. We're looking at those kinds of things as well as some other fixes to come. We've got a priority checklist that we're working our way through. And a big part of that priority checklist is feedback from you guys in the community. What you guys say on those platforms like the forums, Twitter, Facebook, in the Discord. All of that gets read and rolled into our reporting with, nothing short of painstaking dedication to their jobs by Raj and Mel, our support team here. And we sync up together, the three of us, pretty frequently. We report on the things that the community is seeing. We report those up the chain and then make their way through the process and we figure out a prioritization. But right now, the roof thing, the underlying issues with the roof thing, that's what the team is focused on. We'll get back to a little more normalcy once that's all done. Let's see here. I missed the floral pants for Victoria. No. Any update with the throwing knife car glitch, Matt? Obi, that's tied. Am I saying your name right? Is it Obi? O-B-E? Anyhow, Obi, that's tied to car physics in general, and that's something that is high up on that list. It's something that the team is going to be looking into. And, but again, roof situation. Once we get through the roof situation, car physics, that's something that the team's going to really want to look at. I know random counselor is another issue that you guys are pretty upset about and the team's looking into. Mask HP. Other ways to further tweak / tune the rage situation. We've said before, we like the idea of beating up on Jason leading to rage. We like that idea. As far as how that's going to finally look with some tweaking and tuning, we're not 100% sure yet. We're listening to the feedback. We're taking in some really cool ideas from you guys as well as our own, and we'll see what happens. But, yes, throwing knives at cars, that's tied into the larger car issue. What about the block for off-host client? That is a tricky one. I know, if I'm not mistaken, and Gun Media Support can back me up in chat. If I'm not mistaken, though, the situation with the block, you say client-side block stuff, that's something that we need some more information on. So I'm pretty sure the team is investigating, but could use some more information. If I'm mistaken, Gun Media Support, please correct me. I apologize. But yes, it's a tricky one because it comes down to, if I'm not mistaken again, it comes down to connection and peer-to-peer. People don't realize it's not a roof problem. It's a trap setting interaction problem. Yes, and Paul, that trap setting interaction problem, you can imagine the tendrils of that monster. Bicycle of Death, how's it going, homie? Maybe a rework on the mask mechanic. I've never really seen anybody use the mask to enter the shack unseen. I think, Seal Bob, there's some bigger things to worry about. Currently, if we tinker too hard with the mechanics of the kill process, I think we would end up running the risk of upsetting too many people. And I think that we've got other things to look at first. Like, for instance, if there is going to be more tuning to the rage situation or anything like that, before we make another sweeping change like that. But you may be onto something, and it may be something worth looking at. Nothing's really off the table right now with the exception of content. Anything that requires content, obviously, you guys have heard us say it a million times. And I think you guys, I have to give you, the community, a quick shout out because I know that that was a tough pill to swallow. And we're starting to see you guys more and more kind of, what's the right word here? Go forth with that knowledge. I think that these streams, the most important thing about these community check-ins is offering a situation where we can talk candidly with you. And I think that this back and forth that we have has really helped to kind of move the whole situation forward as far as the understanding of where we're at, where content is at, how we got here, what we can do, what we can't do. And so quick shout out to everybody that tunes in every week, because we really appreciate it. We see you guys on Twitter. We see you guys in the forums. We see you guys elsewhere other than these Twitch chats. And we see you guys, basically taking the information that we have here and sharing it with the rest of the community. And that's an awesome thing. So thank you for that. I honestly love the new rage mechanic. Players need to fear Jason again. That's agreed. Hey, I'm here. Havoc, how's it going, buddy? Babysitter Killer, how's it going? I love Jason as an OP beast. I mean, I personally agree. Now, again, don't attack me. Last time I said something like this on a stream, I got a comment about, oh, that's just what you think, and it's not what the community wants. And look, I personally like Jason being a bit OP. I like the idea that every time you step up to hit him, you have to go like, oh, do I really want to take that like rage bump? Or maybe I'll just try to avoid him or get out of here, So, personally, I like it too. But, we have to hear out from the community. Right now, it's a good split. There may be ways to further tune it. The team is discussing, but yeah. Yeah, you said the word ass, Paul. This is an M-rated stream, but, ass is still apparently trips our bots. And, we loosened up the bot on Mixer, so please let us know if the bot is still striking you down with the all the fury and wrath. Everyone attack Matt all at once. Yeah, I figured that was coming after I said it. I put my own foot in my mouth, Avenger. Let's see. After Jason get rage, he just slashing, so my pocket knife is useless. Slashing is a thing. Now, again, I wouldn't say your pocket knife is useless, but the slashing situation, yeah, that is a thing. A lot of players post rage, if Jason is trying to take extra slashes at them, they try to work their way through woods instead of working their way through the wide open. There's a lot for that. If you know anything, if you've seen this happen, or maybe you've been the Jason on the bad end of this, you know what it's like when a counselor is running through trees or doorways and you try to take that slash and you end up with a chunk of door frame in your machete. Yeah, but we hear you and we get that. Again, pushing him up to rage, it's kind of a scary thing. So, but you're talking about a very specific situation, aren't you? You're talking about Jason up post-rage, you have a pocket knife, you haven't run into him, use the pocket knife, you don't have a weapon that can still stun him like, say, a shotgun. It's very kind of like, we're starting to get into the weeds a bit, and the broader picture is what we want to try to make sure that the balance is good in. That's the kind of thing that we're going to look at. Love seeing noobs and kids hit Jason until he hits rage and get angry when he can't die after. It's funny. Yeah, it's a thing. Did you see my question? I didn't, don't Z's. I missed it, bud. Please repeat. Are we getting a change to the perk system? All for Awesemo. Excuse me, guys. Are we getting a change to the perk system? Awesemo, it's not off the table. The team has definitely spent some time kind of getting into the weeds of fixing certain interaction things and such. That doesn't mean that it's off the table. It doesn't mean that it's been shelved or put aside. As of right now, we've got a priority list that we're working our way through. But it's not a hard no. It's not a no, not at all. It's more a matter of we're getting through some things that we think are more important, and we're working kind of in that succession. The perk situation, what that will look like, we're still kind of deciding. It's something that is not going to be a small undertaking. So in order to do it the justice it deserves, it's got to be when the team's free and clear to focus on it. Hey, streamer, why you has green hair? Hey, Mr. West. Quick shout out to Mr. West Keltner. How's it going, boss man? Why you has green hair? I went in the pool and it came out like this. The invisible wall under the stairs in Higgins Haven, please fix it. That invisible wall under the stairs, I feel like is there for a reason. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, homesick. You're homesick or you're homesick? Because if you're saying this is your home and you're homesick, we miss you too, buddy. If you're saying you're at home sick, we hope you feel better soon. But yes, the wall under the stairs, I'd have to look into that. Maybe Gun Media Support or Mighty Mel can back us up. I don't want to put too much on Mel. She's running the stream, so keep that in mind. But yes, okay, I got it right. Can also fine-tune Jason's morph. He sometimes doesn't morph where you need to. That's, yeah, homesick and home, comma, sick, right. Tarman gooped your hair. It's true. Can you also fine-tune Jason's morph? He sometimes doesn't morph where you need to. I believe that's a bug. It's where you place the morph icon somewhere. You end up popping up in a different spot of the map. I believe that's a type of bug. I would have to talk with the team. If it turns out that it is, we will make sure that we check on the status of that, and we will hopefully have an update for you by next stream of where it is right now. Again, the team's focusing on the roof and interaction issue. As far as that would be down here, and that would be something that would be coming up, but at least we can come back to the next Beyond with some news for you. Yeah, the invisible wall fixed the bug where Jason can't get to you. I thought that was the case. Didn't want to spread his throat plague. Yeah, well, thank you for that. Let's see. How's it going, True Green? He's talking about the invisible wall where the stairs are with the radio. Yes, no, I know the spot. That spot, I couldn't recall if that was there for a reason. I believe that invisible wall is there for a reason. It's to keep you outside of it because there's a problematic area in there. Green hair back in business, looking good, homie. Thanks, Fancy. How's it going, bud? If you could whisper your email. Oh, that's from Gun Media Help. Derp, Matt, good job. Hey, OG Medusa, thanks for the host. Jason needs a nerf to his grab range. I'm getting tired of Sith Lord Jason. The grab thing has been a debated topic. It's something that teams kind of looked at and worked with, but we don't want to make any kind of like weird sweeping change. We wouldn't want to toss any kind of monkey wrench in there and totally throw off how people are playing Jason. We do hear you on that, and we've heard it, but again, it's not as high up there. It's the grab range is tough, but by the same note, it's not something that's totally busting the game up right now. So it's something that we can leave lower in our prioritization. I'm sick and tired of teamers cheaters. Bad girl, we hear you. Please make Jason only killable the final 5 to 10 minutes. That's interesting. Don't Z's. That's a pretty interesting thing. That's something that maybe we could talk about as far as part of like the greater rage change and what, because again, it does tie into the rage change, right? You know, there's the Jason kill squads, you know, basically bullying up on Jason and able to just work around Jason like he's not really a threat, which helps lead to things like a rage change, which then changes the way the early game is played. All these dots line up. It's definitely something we could consider. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but by the same note, there may be parts of that I'm not seeing. It's not entirely up to me. So we would have to have a whole discussion involving design and creative and get through this whole thing and see what that looks like after the rage change. But it's a pretty cool suggestion. Oh, on the topic of sick and tired of teamers cheaters. I'm not sure what you mean by cheaters. If you're talking about people being up on the roof and exploiting issues in the game, the team's really trying to hammer those things out. We can get rid of that. We can tighten that ship up. It's the teamers that we have to look at. And again, you know, like we've said before on this show, the situation with teaming is a tricky one. 99% of the time, the ideas, I guess I would say, for how to eliminate teaming are restricting gameplay elements from people who are using them correctly. And that's not something that you ever want to do. People are misusing a gameplay element that's in there for good reason, and you don't want to remove that in order to limit some bad apples, right? So it's a matter of trying to figure the situation out and get through it as best we can. It's an ongoing topic, but it's one that is way trickier than I think a lot of people recognize. So, it'd match the movie. Jason only got taken down at the end, so the game matching that would really be cool. I get what you mean there, Don't Z. Yeah, I can see that. Bring back team killing would allow teamers to team kill, but also allow people to eliminate the teamers. I don't know. I feel like that gets tricky because, you know, if you're talking about teamers from an area of, you know, making the game basically about grief, team killing kind of plays into that. I don't know that that's the answer. I feel like that's a pretty heavy-handed approach to it. I still like the fact that when you hit Jason in rage mode, you still get a stamina recharge boost. Yes. It was suggested in the Nintendo Switch subreddit, the screen caps in the eShop are not from the Switch version. Is that accurate? As far as I know, A.R. Johnson, they're all from the Switch version. Appreciate it for the hard work you all put in the game. Thanks, True Green. Why in the world did I get hit by a machete twice by Shelly and my mask came off within 5 minutes of the game? I would have to hear more about that, his perks, his loadout and such, but I don't know, that seems off. You want to cut down on Jason teaming, disable party chat in match. That doesn't actually cut down on Jason teaming, though, OBE. It's something, or Obi, however you say your name. It's something that we have discussed. But, I mean, with a mobile phone and Discord, it doesn't actually cut down on Jason teaming at all, really. Counselors teleporting, I can't grab them. It's so hard to kill them. Wait a minute, Bad Girl, you said cut down Jason's grab range, and now you're saying you can't grab people. I just want to point out some irony there. The counselor teleporting, are you talking about the slut? I'm not sure what you mean there. Maybe you can elaborate a bit. If people use TK appropriately, then yes, it would work, but they don't. TK equals griefing. It would be exploited wholesale. Exactly, Wes. One way to fix teaming is remove the dots on the mini-map so they can't follow you. That's a pretty cool idea, too. I mean, it definitely has a restrictive element, restricts other players from being able to see where people are, but again, you can communicate. I don't know. It's a pretty cool one, Babysitter Killer. Is the Uber teaser in VC in the Switch version, or has it been changed so not to disappoint new players? I believe that's all been removed because it's not going to see the light of day. I miss team killing, but it would make the problems worse. I agree, Paul. And as Wes said, it's, you know, team killing is the kind of thing where in a perfect world, you go, well, we'll only kill the people who are teaming up with Jason. But nobody's going to do that. People who are teaming up with Jason are going to just shoot you if you get to be too hard for Jason to get. If their teaming attempts don't work, they're just going to drop you instead. Or, you know, it's silly. So, or, you know, you're going to grab an item they want or something and they're going to take you out. It doesn't really fix much. What does AJ stand for in AJ Mason's name? That's a great question for Wes. If he doesn't know the answer offhand, what we'll do is we will get that information from our creative director, Ronnie Hobbs. You guys know Mr. Ronnie Hobbs. And get back to you guys. But Wes probably knows that answer. I need to be happy on both sides. I hear you, Bad Girl. Bad Girl, I don't... Ooh, jeez, I slid off the armrest there. Bad Girl, I don't want you to think I was making fun of you or mocking you. I thought it was ironic, and I just was having a little fun with you there. But yeah, no, I believe you're talking about a sliding issue, and that's something that the team's looking into. Gun Media Support can probably provide a little more clarity there. I'm a slide on them, Matt. Easy. I get what you mean. Who doesn't Victoria have her own voice dialogue when stunning Jason with the sweater? Why doesn't Victoria have her own... That's a good question. I knew it at one point, but totally forgot now. Ronnie came up with it. I'll check with Ronnie, and we'll get back to you guys. You know what? I'll check with Ronnie, and maybe we'll throw a quick tweet out there. So keep an eye on the Friday the 13th game Twitter. How's it going, TFR? What's up, Mad Eye? TK's a recipe for disaster. Agree, OG Medusa. Bring back Tommy saying this is between me and Jason where he spawns. It was taken out after the engine update. Babysitter Killer, that's something that we raised after the last stream. Well, let me be cautious with my words here. The team had reported on that one prior. It somehow ended up in a spot where I don't know if it got lost in a shuffle or if it slid down a priority chain. But it's something that we've raised again to check for a status update on since, I want to say the last Beyond, which was not last week, but the week before when it was mentioned here in chat. I will check on that for you and get you a status update, though, and see what that looks like and you know where that's at. Look at that. Come check us out on Twitter and join the community. Boom. Gun Media Support. Raj Mahal doing a kick-ass job. I like not seeing friendlies on minimap. Adds so much pressure. That's a great point. Suavecenzo, if I got that right. That's a great point. There could be ideas like this that the community embraces. This is why, again, earlier in the show, we mentioned our forums, which we're going to test Raj Mahal right now and see how quick he is with the links. We mentioned our forums. Now, the thing about pushing you guys to the forums is not that we don't want to discuss it here. It's a great area for long-form interaction. And what I mean by that is you can type up a book. You can type up a whole Bible's worth of text to us, and we can read it, and the community can weigh in on it, and we can have a longer, drawn-out discussion about what these things will look like. And I think that there's a lot of great conversations already happening on those forums that I think you guys would, with some of your ideas, would fit in nicely with. But then how would we run over teamers then? Justice needs serve. Deranged. A lot of players that team with Jason use the car to run over other counselors. Betraying another counselor should cause a player to be kicked from the match or cause them to die as a sort of punishment. That's a tricky one. I don't know. That's a tricky one. You know, here's my thing, and I see Don't Z also weighed in. Don't Sleep also weighed in on it. How would we run over teamers? I feel that, like, Rogue Justice situation is not, like, the best angle to take as for why we should leave a mechanic in game. But I do get where you're coming from, Don't. I see where you're at with that. But by the same note, if you punish anybody who runs over another counselor, I don't know about you, I'm a terrible driver. I mean, I think Gary Graves, Galaxy Graves is in chat still. I'm a terrible driver. Like, if I escape in the car, man, that was like I had the hand of God himself on my back guiding me through the map, because I'm a terrible driver. And I would hate to think that I would be kicked every time I ran over a teammate. I do it all the time. Sorry. Jason should be able to grab counselors through windows with the car grab animation. I think that's problematic because of the height of the windows, the height of inside. I'm not entirely sure. And also being able to pull someone through a window is an animation that I don't know how that would all work. Again, being on the community side, I don't have necessarily the necessary chops to elaborate on that, but that sounds like a lot for a minimal animation. Let's see here. Oh, Paul Smash says, do you think allowing people to play as Jason every time if they choose would cause long lobby wait times? 100%. The idea is that's kind of the player fantasy, is to play as the killer, right? I mean, Jason's the icon of the franchise. There's a lot of folks that are going to just lean on that, and there's only one role in each matchup for grabs. It's not like asymmetrical multiplayer is tricky in that sense. It's not that there's 2 teams of 5, and if you like a certain guy of the however many are at your disposal, or a certain counselor, there's a lot more flexibility there. But when it's like, hey, I want to be the one in each match, that's tough. No, there will not be a Friday the 13th, the game part 2. And the main reason for that is the team feels like we put a lot into this title, This title has... And now, yes, there's a few elements here or there that are not in the game. Look, I'm not... last time we talked about this, the folks on the forums kind of, took the opportunity to point out everything that's not in this one. And I'm not saying that everything from the franchise is in this one. But what I am saying is that what isn't in this one is not... It's not a standalone game. It's kind of, Friday the 13th, the game, has those elements. It has the majority of those elements. It's the most complete. To try to make a part 2, where do you go from that without it just being an expansion pack? And that's like this is some hypothetical fairy tale down the line of this situation that's going on outside of Gun with Friday the 13th that we have no role in. So, there's too many variables there, number one. Number two, Friday the 13th game is a pretty complete game as far as what we would want to fit in there is concerned. And so it wouldn't be something that the team would be interested in. Splinter Shield, how's it going, buddy? I want Super Jason preference. Wait, what do you mean by Super Jason? When do Vicky, Mitch, Fox, and Shelly get bikinis? They won't. That would count as new content. Unfortunately, they will not. I wonder what the split is between people who prefer counselor versus killer. It's probably not as steeped toward Jason as you would expect. A lot of people have really embraced the counselor gameplay in Friday the 13th game. I know I speak to a lot of people who claim to say, to be 100% counselor mains. I know a few myself, but it's not quite as steep toward Jason as you would think. But it's the nature of that setup of being able to choose a singular in a match definitely tilts the scale one way. Let Tommy J stun a rage Jason. That's a pretty cool idea, don't? I try to play hero role, but Jason just ignores me and chases low stamina counselors. Don't. That's a pretty cool idea. Again, it's one we've heard. We've heard it come through, I want to say, the forums. It's one we've heard. And again, it's something that when we get to that greater rage discussion, it's something that we'll probably talk about, at least through the creative process. Now, you got to remember, too, every game has a creative process, a design process, and there's certain things in the core design of that game. The team here is not just, we're not putting tutus on Jason and giving counselors rollerblades because for reasons, right? So it's got to fit within the core design, but it's something that we'll probably kick around and discuss. Shirt game on point as usual, Matt. Hey, Landy, how's it going? Thanks, bud. Matt, the best part about the roof glitch is getting away from teamers. It pisses them off, but I understand why it should be removed. I hear you, babysitter, yeah. I hear you. Again, that's that like street justice situation that we were talking about earlier with driving the car over your counselor buds. I get where you're coming from. It's, you know, listen, man, I got a mohawk. I'm an old, crusty punk rocker, man. I get where you're coming from. But, yeah. Let's see here. Why isn't Friday like cross-platform? There's only one goal in the game. How do you mean? Cross-platform play? What does that have to do with the goal in the game? I'm not sure I'm following. No, like getting a Super Jason preference so I can be Jason every game. Oh, okay. You can be Jason every game. It's called offline bots. Pow, pow. What else we got? Are you ever going to address the whole 1 in 75 stat about Jason being killed at that rate before launch compared to now, where it's pretty easy with just 2 people? I don't know what you want us to address there. I think that part of it is maybe some things that could use some tuning, and part of it is the lifetime of the game. I mean, in the beginning of the game coming out, we had a few diehard people who were able to kill Jason, but, you know, as players progress and as things go on, you know, their skills change, situation changes, the mass understanding of how to do it, changes. If there's an issue or a bug that we can point to and say, we should fix that or we should balance this, that's different. You know, for example, when you guys bring up the mask HP, that's a conversation we're willing to have with you guys. But just saying, oh, you know, more people kill Jason now, there's got to be more to that than just that fact. I love this game just the way it is, even though there's bugs and glitches just like every other game. Well, you know, Greg Walsh, we're still going to try and fix as many of them as we can, but we appreciate the support, bud. I just wish there was more to the game. I feel like it hasn't changed at all except for tiny changes. Trojan Man, that's the situation. If you type !content in chat, that'll give you an FAQ on the status as far as content is concerned. And ultimately, we are focused on bug fixes and balancing. Those are the changes that you're going to see from here forward. That's kind of where that's at. Let's see here. What else we got? Never used the trap roof bug to teleport across the lake. You teleport across the lake? Ooh. I need to look up some YouTuber videos. Splinter Shield wants to kill him and Jason. Cross-platform plus level 150 only admittance quick play, please? You want only level 150 in quick play cross-platform. That's, I mean, why would you open up cross-platform and then cone it down to just that? That doesn't... I'd like to see a Mozambique added. Mozambique here. Paul Smash. I love that humor. Is the teleport glitch as Jason still a thing? You mean the similar method that counselors were using? Currently, in-game, it is. It will be repaired with the repairs we're working on now. So when those roll out, that'll be gone as well. Let's see here. But what about for new Jasons? You think that's fun for them to get teabagged and danced on for 15 minutes? It is definitely not. Game has great design and does feel complete, albeit I cry myself to sleep every night over the lack of Uber Jason. Dontrell Roosevelt, I don't mean to giggle at your cry yourself to sleep thing. Hey, we really appreciate the support. And, you know, believe me, if there were a way, but I'll just end it there. And we appreciate the support, Dontrell. Can we choose the region servers? I hate that sometimes I get into EU servers. Choosing the region, that's problematic. I think you can see how that could be tough. Has there ever been any plans to implement something like a matchmaking ranking, like in Dead by Daylight? Possibly, but again, that's something that's so far out there at this point. We've got our own things to focus on right now with the situations that we've discussed even just here in the stream. We've got things like the roof situation, the interaction situation, the situation with cars, situations with random counselor. We have our list of things that we're looking at and focusing on, as well as, that's on the bug fix side, as well as things like potential rage tuning, further tuning of the rage situation, tuning of maybe, you know, masks or whatever the case may be. So again, the match-made ranking, again, you're gonna funnel people into smaller groups. You're gonna not maximize, expand wait times for lobbies. And it's going to be a lot of work to install something that's going to kind of be a frustration just to add a ranked mode in. You'd have to also then still have a separate mode for just casual quick play because people are not going to want to wait to, squad up or get synced up with people of similar rank. So then you also have a quick play. If you try to minimize the wait times on the ranked side, then you end up broadening those skill gaps. So you end up having, like, for sake of argument, 50% of the scale all going into one room. It's the kind of thing where it's not necessarily in the cards for Friday the 13th at this time. Thoughts about removing Jason's icon on the minimap, like the idea of knowing he might be near but not exactly where. Kind of cool, Seal Bob, but it's kind of very specific, and it's something that could frustrate, especially with a batch of new players coming on all the time. It's something that could frustrate our newer players, but it's an interesting thing. We restored Victoria's proper pants in the update. This next one, no, but with any amount of hard work and blood, sweat, and tears, possibly in the next one. Right now, we're just focused on that roof. Thanks again, Dontrell. Let's see. How come you guys don't thank us for playing on the main screen like you used to? On the loading screens? I don't know. We could check that out. I feel like we thank you guys a lot for playing here on the stream and on Twitter. We just said thanks the other day, but we can look into it. Please, whatever you do, we can look into the loading screen, but please, whatever you do, don't think that we don't appreciate the support, guys. As we said on Twitter yesterday, it was National Video Game Day. And we appreciate everybody that spends any time with one of our games, whether it's a little or a lot. So thank you very much for that. But that's cool, Awesemo. We can look into that and see if there's something going on there or if it had to be yoinked. Okay, I love Friday and all, but what's next for Gun Media? How about a fresh PvP horror game created from pure imagination? Who knows what's next for Gun Media? But I like that when you guys ask this question, you used to just ask very vague, like, what are you working on? And it allowed me to make like a bunch of cheeky jokes. Somebody on the other day said, what are you working on next? And I got to say I was going to be working on a pizza. I like that you guys are getting more specific with this question and eliminating the opportunity for me to make cheeky jokes. That's this is our back and forth. They're talking about the message of the day on the main menu, which has been disabled. See, okay, perfect. Watching my old stream on the corner, it said, thank you for playing Friday. It'd be nice to see that again. Yeah, I think that's been disabled, and I think that we'll have to check into the why, but yeah. Why does Tommy only bring one bullet? I mean, bullets are expensive, my dude. No, it's a balancing element. It is. It's a balancing element. You don't want him to have a ton of bullets to just be able to willy-nilly shoot on Jason. But let's see here. We had another question I missed. Tournaments are ways keeping me on this game. Oh, God, this scroll breaks. But I still love what y'all have done with the game. We love Nightmare King B. Thank you so much, man. I told Wes I would say Wes winked anymore, so I can't. You told Wes you would. You didn't type wouldn't. Now you put star wouldn't. Okay. Birdhouse is still my favorite. Mine too. Why not add bullets for the shotgun and flare gun? Because there is many empty drawers. Again, that's part of that rage, the greater rage conversation. When we talk about still continuing to have a conversation revolving around rage, it's not just how is Jason after he gets rage? What does it take to get him the rage? There's other elements to it too, balancing in the world. Something huge like adding shotgun shells as an item in there, that gets iffy. It would be something that we would have to have some serious conversations about, and I don't even know that it would be possible if there's content in-game that would count, how we would be able to pull that off with the content situation. So it's tricky, but there are still ways that we can balance rage with other elements in game that we're exploring, and it starts with that feedback from you guys. All right, got to take my son to wrestling practice. You guys have a great stream. Good luck to your son in Wrestling Avenger. Thanks for tuning in. The way Tommy held the gun in his first trailer was much better. Keep those horror games coming. C2, we hope to. Shotgun shells probably falls under content. Just a guess, though. That would be my guess. I know everybody hates hearing that, Mad Eye, but that would be my guess. Let's see here. Is the offline progression solution Ish talked about in the March 5th Beyond stream still in the works for Switch and other platforms? Yes. It's going to work separately, though. Basically, online is always going to be the trump, so you're still going to have offline. You're going to have your items earned online offline, right? But when you sync back up to the server, you're not going to be able to gain unlocks offline because that leads to like a situation with hacking, right? You can be offline gather up a bunch of unlocks through other means, and then jump online and use them. That's a problem. So, but when you're offline, you will have your unlocks. As far as, you know, a progression system, if there were no servers or something down the line, that's something we would discuss down the line when we get to that point. But we're not there yet. Yeah, Jason X isn't coming. 100%. I see that over there in Legendary Reaper Death Resurrected Zombies has arrived. Hey, gun. Yeah, no. Jason X is not going. Sorry, we appreciate your fandom, RDXRZ. We really do, but that's Jason X is not coming to the game. And as far as Savini, that's a backer only thing. It's got to stay that way. That exclusivity is something that we rewarded people who backed us early with, and it would be undoing that exclusivity, thus taking a reward from them to make it widely available now. Will there be another legendary drop? How do you mean? You guys will always have my support for this game and your future titles. Thanks, Greg. We appreciate it. I hate lawsuits. Me too. Can you add more colors to counselors' clothing? That's a tricky one again. I would have to check in with somebody. I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds a lot like content. Let's see. Have you guys started making a mentorship program for people making horror games? It's a pretty cool idea. I feel like we got to kind of get our selves a little further along down the line of the life of making games. But yeah, drink water, don't get throat plague. Yeah, I am sitting in Wes's chair. Sorry, guys. I know that was probably really loud. Is there a timeline yet for when the greater rage discussion will happen? I'm excited to hear all of the ideas. Synthetic sanity. That will probably be something that'll happen internally at first, because it's going to be a lot of that out there stuff that we just humor and then talk ourselves out of, right? These design discussions always start with the most outlandish, and you kind of reel them back into where, what makes sense. It's the rock in the tumbler, and you just let it keep tumbling until it refines itself. And so then maybe we would have that discussion with you guys on a Beyond or something like that. But we're still a bit of ways from that. So I don't have a timeline for that, but know that that's something we're looking at. All right. Will y'all be using Vivox for in-game voice chat? On Switch, yes. We'll be using Vivox, and it'll go through the walkie-talkie system in-game. So, let's see. What about Bloody Savini skin? I've seen videos with it. Can we get it on PC? That gun water, right, bud? Bloody Savini, there was something to that. I would have to check in with the guys. There's something to that about why that's not. Matt level 50 unlocks the Tarman shirt. Tarman would be like day one shirt for Matt. You don't have to be level 150 for Matt there. Guys, I think we're running light on questions. A lot of this is falling under the category of content. Wait, when can we expect the new update? Anytime soon? Sorry, stepped away. Nightmare King B? Currently, the team is ironing things out. We're hammering on it a bit longer. We want to make sure we do our due diligence and redundancy checks and make sure that we're in good shape. We should have an update on things by the next episode of Beyond. If we get that update in between now and Beyond, obviously we are not going to hold that news back just so we can stream it. So keep an eye on our social media accounts. But by the next Beyond, we should have something to talk to you guys about, at least to give you a little more of a status update than where we're at right now. Right now, the team's hammering on it. We have some more discussions to have inside, some more poking around to do. We want to make sure we put our best foot forward with this patch. Where can we get gun merchandise? Currently, you can't. You got to run into us at an event or something like that and hopefully get yourself some gun merch. But maybe that'll change in the future. You never know. Hey, Wes and Matt, I played yesterday, and a level 6 kid bought the game 2 weeks ago and bought Savini on eBay. Is there anything that can be done? If he bought Savini on eBay, that must be PC, and that's a DLL hack, and he's going to get yoked up by Easy Anti-Cheat in no time. So, yeah. Let's see here. Was there any talk about doing the Mask Ultimate Edition for Switch, or did they not sell too well? I don't think it comes down to a matter of selling. I think it comes down to a matter of where the license is at right now. I don't know that we could pull that off. I could be wrong there, but I don't think that we could pull that off with the situation with where, the fragile kind of shaky ground the license is at right now, being 100% honest. Are you going to fix Victoria's pants change ability? New butt looks good, but now you can't change the pattern. It's something that we're looking into, Nightmare Queen B. It would be after all of this with our situation with the roof and so on. Why does the main menu screen have Jason Part 3? It's cool to have more Jasons in there. It has Jason Part 3 because I think it's the most iconic, but, you know, as far as cycling the Jasons, that's kind of a low prio thing at this stage. You can buy the mask itself for $30. Yes, you can. All right. And I'd love if there was a gun merch store. Thanks, Seraph. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up here. Is Gun done with franchise-related games? Or are we doing some no's next? As far as what Gun's working on next, obviously, I'm not going to break that news just like off the cuff. But, you know, keep an eye out. The Gun's always looking to work. We're not going anywhere, guys. You're stuck with us. So keep an eye out. You never know what we'll have next. The kid was on Xbox, Matt, not on PC. That doesn't sound right to me then. I don't know about that one. I would say, I'd have to look into that. That shouldn't be the case. He may have had Savini from backing it, and he's being a goof, you know? Ooh. Matt winked. I never wink. Let's see, what do we got here? Last question, Deborah Kim's butt looks weird in the swimsuit. I think we're pretty much done with butts for a bit. But yeah. My friend sold his Savini on eBay for PS4. I suppose it's possible. I want to give you money. I bought the game 7 times, and I like to buy some swag. That's pretty dope, Sarah. Thank you. People still have them. It's possible, but Wes says we're never done with butts. You want to talk about Deb's butt? That's your wheelhouse. You are the lead butt technician. And the zombies behind Matt are Deadites. No, they're not. Those are originals, man. All right, guys. Let's talk about the sick hair product you use. That hair is bright as fuck right now. It's Manic Panic amplified. If you bleach it almost white, you get like a really crazy color with the amplified one. Don't go with the little tub. You got to use the bottle of amplified. Pew, pew. Manic Panic, come talk to me. All right, guys. We're going to call it a day here. Yeah, we're on to Gunderwear now. We'll save that for Tales from the Stream. Gundaroos. Oh, boy. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in every Tuesday and Thursday with us. We really appreciate it. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're starting to get to the point now with these streams. We're around episode 14, 15, something like that. And we're starting to get to the point with these streams where we recognize these names every week. And that's a really good feeling. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate the continued support on everything that we do here. As far as, excuse me again, as far as the situation with our games, we'll be back next week with a Beyond episode and hopefully an update on the situation. We'll have an update on the situation with the roof, and we'll do another community Q&A and hopefully sit down and get some more things cleared up. We'll also be back, though, this coming Thursday with an episode of Tales from the Stream. For those of you who don't know, Tales from the Stream is where we hang out on the couch. We play some horror games, either ours or other people's, from around the world of horror games. And we chat about all sorts of random topics, anything from, you know, horror films to our favorite foods, but it's usually a good time. You should come hang out and check it out. It's really a lot of fun. And yeah, aside from that, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for tuning in each time. Tuesdays, we've got Beyond, our news show, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays, we've got Tales from the Stream, our fun casual show, also at 3 p.m. Eastern. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. We'll give you a link to our Discord. Please join, hang out, and chat with us. We've sent the links around for the forums. Hopefully Gun Support is still on the ball, and we'll get those out to you. But you can come hang out with us on the F13 forums if you're new to the game. There's a wonderful community there waiting to talk to you. We've got our Twitter account that you can follow, and we can keep in touch with you there. We've also got a Facebook page. If that's more your speed, you can like it. And keep up with the news there as well. Guys, we love you. Take it easy, everybody, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.